Welcome to another episode of UEN's PDTV. I'm your host, Katie Blunt. Digital citizenship is an important part of education for students at all levels. The more technology we use, the more important it becomes. Today we have traveled to South Salt Lake to visit with Will Pettit, a CTE teacher at Granite Park Junior High. Will is going to show us how he not only teaches official digital citizenship standards, but also incorporates digital citizenship skills into every class he teaches.
My name is William Pettit. I teach digital literacy and film and college and career awareness. It's a lot of fun. I kind of intend on being here forever. My school has a lot of really great students, and it's just a lot of fun to teach in a place that's so diverse. Digital citizenship is a part of everything we teach in junior high. In particular, I teach a college and career awareness class where digital citizenship actually plays a part of it. It's part of our strand and standards, and even more so in a class I teach called digital literacy, which it's very explicitly stated out how we have to cover certain things like digital footprint and all that kind of stuff. So it's built into my curriculum, but other than that, it's just kind of built into junior high because they live their lives online. And so we try and cover as much as we can about how to be safe and what to say, what not to say, and how it can affect your future as much as we can.
EdTech Competency 4A focuses on digital citizenship. In this episode, we'll see how Will creates positive online experiences for his students that foster responsible contribution and empathetic engagement. We'll talk to Will about how he empowers students to recognize and appropriately respond to inappropriate or dangerous online interactions. We'll also see how Will and his students promote and model appropriate data privacy practices and guide students to develop a positive and responsible digital identity. Where is digital citizenship officially part of your curriculum?
The strands and standards for CCA or College and Career Awareness and digital literacy are actually changing this year. So we just got brand new ones on Friday. So the next year, they've added digital footprint and all sorts of digital citizenship stuff into CCA that wasn't previously there. So what I stated earlier is that it's now officially part of 2 of my classes. As of last week, it was mostly just in 1. In digital literacy, though, we do cover a lot of it's built into that class really hard.
It's nice to know that they're getting at least an official solid foundation in at least 1 or 2 classes. But tell me a little bit more about how you see digital citizenship fitting then into all your classes. Because you said it's a part of all of middle school.
It is.
I think it's a part of life, not just K-12, but tell me a little bit more how you fit it into your lessons in all of your classes.
Well, an example would be in a film class. When you're teaching a kid how to make a film or editing or how to shoot something, that's something that's going to tie right over into after school because they're going to pull their camera out and they're going to shoot something. Hopefully, they're not going to shoot something like a fight or them doing something they're not supposed to do, but a lot of kids will do that. And it's important that they know that what they do with what they film can affect them down the road. When we put them together, it'll create this type of meaning. But if we took maybe the same clip, but this kind of clip, it'll create a totally different type of meaning. And so even in a class like film, where I'm teaching them about how to make a film, it's important they're aware of how that film can affect them. And it's just going to be a part of their digital footprint and their life forever. It's just so important that they're so aware of that. And so I try to include it in film class, in digital literacy, in college and career awareness. And it's not just video or film. I mean, anything they post online, if they make comments about another student's work, they should be respectful in their comment to that student's work. Because if it's online, it's copyable, it's pastable, it is reproducible, and that is something that's just so important for them to understand. Could you see how perhaps any video you take, any TikTok you post, any Instagram you make, you could post it somewhere, and then suddenly someone could take that video and mix it with something else, and it can be something you did not ever intend it to be. So it's very important that we're as careful as possible and that we're aware of some of these techniques that happen, because they can help us make great stories, but they also might make great stories about you that perhaps you might not want told and perhaps aren't even true. And I think it's really important in junior high because their brains are young and they're not thinking about next year. They're not thinking about 10 years from now. They're barely thinking about next week. And so for them to realize, oh, that can happen, that can affect me now, is just really valuable for them.
Yeah.
And thankfully I have enough examples after being here for 16 years of kids that have made mistakes. And I use those stories. I mean, I don't use names, but hey, I had a kid once who did this particular thing and this is how it affected them.
Mm-hmm. Are there specific curriculum resources that you utilize to help you teach digital citizenship skills?
So Common Sense Media is fantastic, and I have used them as a resource. They have lots of resources. I like to make a lot of my own. I feel like a lot of my research, I mean, I just look up stuff and I read a lot of things all about what's happening, news articles about kids that have been affected by this kind of thing, and then sharing those in class kind of make it a little more real. It's really easy to give the kids a list of, if you're cyberbullied, do this kind of thing, and we do cover stuff like that, but it's really important for them to see real life examples of what's happening. So I try and pull as much from real life and my own experience as I can, as well as Common Sense is a great resource. I don't know if you're familiar with ChatGPT, but I actually subscribe to them and they actually have really great resources too. AI is really kind of amazing these days. Another thing that I try and make sure the kids are aware of, because that's another thing that could affect them.
Yeah.
That's brand new, that's like the new thing. So
Absolutely.
being up on the new stuff and knowing it before they know it so that I can use it in class and they're like, hey, Mr. Pettit, have you heard of this? I'm like, yeah, let's talk about that, and let's talk about how it might affect your future.
It seems like, especially with your film class and
Yeah.
with the students that you're teaching, they're naturally leaders in the school. So do they have opportunities to also model for other students in the school, just like you might, what the best practices are for digital citizenship?
Yeah, so as part of our film class, we also control the yearbook, and we had an Instagram account just until recently, actually, and we had some students who, somebody got on and was posting some stuff that wasn't painting us in a good light, and I went to the class and I was like, hey, like, is this something that we need to, like, how do we stop this? Like, this is somebody who is affecting our account in a negative way. What do you think we should do? And we had a meeting and the kids got together and said, you know, Mr. Pettit, I think we should delete the account because it's just not what we want it to be. And I said, if that's what you guys think we should do, I agree with you. And we all got together and we deleted the account, and it's not something that we got to use in our yearbook because somebody wasn't using it appropriately. But I was glad that they were aware enough to think, yeah, this, down the road, this could be potentially a bad thing for us, so let's just get rid of the problem now before it gets any worse.
I love that you included them in the discussion, that they were part of the decision-making process in this situation. And they also have the opportunity to kind of teach through their weekly broadcast, don't they?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So we make daily announcements, and we make announcements about all sorts of things. They're kind of like short video sketches, and we do everything from buying a yearbook to how to post something on Safe UT app if kids need it. I mean, we do all sorts of things to help promote. First of all, our big goal is a positive culture, promote a positive image of our school, to promote a positive culture in school, and then to help kids be aware of things like this. One of the big questions I ask them when we cover digital footprint, and the one that I tell them counts the most for their grade, is how are you going to make your digital footprint a good digital footprint? And I want them to be specific. Are you going to volunteer at the Humane Society and walk dogs and post yourself doing that kind of thing? Are you going to get into cooking? Are you going to cut your friend's hair and show how you're learning a new skill? Like, what are the kinds of positive things that you are posting that will tell someone in the future, I'm a well-rounded, good, cool person that is living a great life, and that could be beneficial to them someday. And I hope that they're really aware of that.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your expertise and classes and students with us.
Sure.
Now that you have seen EdTech Competency 4A in action, consider how you can implement it into your teaching as well. First, understand how digital citizenship fits into your curriculum. Are there specific standards, like library media or CTE standards, that you should be teaching? Next, understand how digital citizenship plays a role in your classroom, whether it's part of your official standards or not. How can you incorporate these skills into your daily lessons and activities? Each time a student conducts research, creates, collaborates, and interacts with technology is an opportunity for you to teach and model digital citizenship. Utilize a variety of tools to help you teach digital citizenship. For example, the state of Utah has contracted with Digital Responsibility to provide you with presentations and lessons for teaching these skills. The Digital Responsibility lessons will very soon be part of our e-media library. Other tools include NetSafe Utah, the ISTE standards for students, Be Internet Awesome, Common Sense Media, and NetSmarts. You can also involve your entire school community in helping to model and teach digital citizenship. Resources to help you engage parents and community members include the Safe UT app and website and the Utah Attorney General's website. For even more ideas, resources, tools, and strategies to help you implement this competency, be sure to visit uen.org/PDTV and access the teacher toolkit that accompanies this episode. Thanks for watching UEN's PDTV. To access more professional development resources from UEN and to schedule a training, visit uen.org/development. We'll see you next time.